Hi, welcome to Life in a Bottle, Season 2, Episode 41. I'm Kyle, and coming at you again solo from the backyard, which is relatively intact after everything that's been going on lately. It's still summer, it's 90 degrees out again today, so we thought we'd bring you another rosé. And it's a rosé from a producer that we've worked with before, so before we get down to brass tacks, we're in France. We're in southern France, and as specific as we can get is the foothills of the Cevennes mountain range, which is kind of where the Languedoc meets the southern Rhone Valley. So we've featured this producer's red wine a little early in the year, a few months ago, and it went like absolute gangbusters. It was crazy. The wine is absolutely delicious. They do a really beautiful job. They, by the way, are Florent and Natalie Bouton. They've owned the vineyard since 2003. They are certified sustainable, and they really like to make wines that kind of express where they're from. They don't fuss with them much. They harvest the grapes, they do their thing, they make the wine, and that's the end of it. Much like the Rouge, this guy is absolutely delicious, super easy to drink, super affordable, and we'll get into it in just a minute here when we dive into the glass. I may have already had a sip, and it's delicious. But before we get there, it is comprised of 70% Mourvedre, and the rest, the 30%, is Sanso. So, typical suspects for the Languedoc. It is a Rosé de Saignée, so basically what that means, it's a rosé that is made in the process of making red wine. They get all the grapes in the tank, and they're pressed and macerating, and as the wine starts to ferment, it's drawing all the color and tannins out of the grape skins. And they decide at a certain point, you know what, we're going to draw a little bit off. It's going to make a beautiful rosé, and it's also going to concentrate the red wine that we're going to continue to make from what's left of that batch. We featured several rosés that are made in this method before, but just to kind of explain what it is. You get an awesome rosé that is still fresh and bright, but has beautiful structure. But it's also contributing to making a better quality, or at least more concentrated red wine down the road. And that is the red wine that we already featured. The red wine from this vintage will, of course, come out a little bit later. But to dive right into the glass, the color is gorgeous. It's this beautiful deep salmon pink. It's got a little bit of gold reflection to it. The nose isn't anything like, it doesn't jump out of the glass at you. It's a little bit more subtle than some of the other rosés we featured this summer. But the fruit is tart and fresh. You get some of that great stone fruit, that peach and nectarine. There's some tart red berry, red currants, those kind of things. And they're just barely ripe. There's awesome minerality that kind of follows up right behind that. And just a little bit of earthiness. On the palate, again, it's tart, it's bright, it's very lively and fresh. You get more of that stone fruit, that just ripe white peach and nectarine. Again, with the red currants, there's some strawberry in there. Those little bitty wild strawberries you can find sometimes. That kind of freshness and lightness is in there. And it's delicate, but it's got a lot to say as far as the structure goes. There's just a little bit of tannin to it. There's that great bright acidity. It's like mouth-watering as I'm sitting here. And again, the minerality just coasts right on the finish. It kind of hangs out a little longer than I would have expected. The finish, there's just a little bit of that tannin to it, and it just kind of wraps everything up in a great bow. I would pair this with whatever's closest in the summertime. Chicken off the grill would be great. I think it'd be good with seafood too. But honestly, I think a little bit of cheese would be fun with this guy. So maybe some soft cheese, some nice firehook crackers, and you're off to the races. Cheers.